It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Welcome to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz on a beautiful Monday, Lions Victory Monday. That is, I'll be your host today, Braylon Edwards with Tom Mazaway. My man Detroit Kool-Aid has joined the show today. Kool-Aid, what's up? And our man that runs the show in the TD booth, none other than Parker. Parker, how you feeling? You good?
I'm doing great today, man. Victory Monday.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Before we start
Victory
with the
Monday.
weekend and how people's weekends went, I do want to start off with a little bit of bad news. Ryan Ermanni, our beloved co-host, beloved host, had a death in his family, if you will. So send your prayers out that way. A friend of a very long time. So
No doubt.
our prayer and our love is with our brother Ryan Ermanni today as he goes through this time with his fans and family. But speaking of the weekends, I know it's so easy to transition from that. Maz, how was your weekend?
It was really good, man. You know, got to hang out. I had some cleaning of the house to do. Finished cleaning up the pool,
Okay.
closed it up, and hung out. Had some dinner with my wife on Saturday night. Hung out yesterday. Went to the game yesterday.
How was that?
I was invited by my buddy Anthony.
How was the energy?
It was great energy, and I was up on the 5th floor in the suites.
Bruh, man.
I was at the Ford Motor Company suite, and that 5th floor, I've never been up on the 5th floor. That is the place to be. I mean, Ford Field.
That's big time.
That's big time up there. And I was only able to stay for a half. Then I had to get home and hang with Kool-Aid and the guys and do the post-game show with Stick and Anson. Had a great time. Lions get the win. Last night's game, surprisingly, because I hate watching the Steelers.
Right.
But I enjoyed the Steelers-Raiders. It was a good game.
At the end.
A little crazy game. Garoppolo definitely played with a concussion. Guaranteed he was concussed. And we'll talk about what Josh McDaniel did at the end of that game later. But I want to give a shout-out to a friend of yours as well. Her name is Sharon Young. She works at Corewell Health.
Okay.
She is the cousin. Actually, yeah, I think it's her cousin or she's the auntie of Brandon Graham.
Yeah, there you go, BG.
BG
For sure.
was playing tonight, and she's a big fan of the show. She loves our show,
sure.
and she took blood from me today.
What happened?
She had to poke me twice.
Oh, okay.
Sharon, you had to poke me twice. I told you I was going to bust your
What type
chops
of
on
love
that.
story is this?
Look, I got my physical tomorrow, so
Okay.
I got to take blood,
Gotcha.
P test, the whole 9 yards. So,
Okay, TMI.
Sharon,
TMI.
shout out to Sharon and the gang at Corewell Health.
Shout out to Sharon Young. We appreciate you. BG, also a Detroit High School alum, Crockett High School, Crockett Rockets. D, Kool-Aid, how was the day for you, man, this weekend? How was your weekend? Take it to it real quick.
Look, man, it was ecstatic, man. The Lions get that big home win. They bounced back from Seattle, and they look like a surefire team, man, like a solid team, one we can depend on. So it was dope to come back and do the post game and all that with the fellas. Hey, it was a great weekend. You couldn't really ask for much more.
Parker, give me a little bit on your weekend, man. How was it?
Started off the weekend by going to O'Toole's in 5th Avenue.
Little Royal Oak action?
Yep, little
Okay.
Royal Oak action. After that, Sunday, went to the game. Met some of my friends from college. Met a fan of the show, Nick, who is friends with one of my friends, Evan. That was pretty sweet. Got to talk to him a little bit. After that, went home, took a nap. I was tired after the game because how much energy I was putting out.
You're too young to be tired. You don't get permission to be tired until you're in your 30s. I'm 40. I'm tired.
I'm 40.
But it was
I'm
a
a
great
man.
weekend. Great weekend. I was
Yeah.
telling Gabby this earlier. I honestly think the atmosphere was better for this game than it was last Sunday.
Well, I don't know about that.
You were sitting in the suites. I was sitting down with the people.
I got
And
you.
it felt great.
Well, in case you didn't get the tease, the Detroit Lions did win the game yesterday over the I forgot they played yesterday.
The Dirty Birds.
I'm joking.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Over the Falcons. And the good thing about it is they got to win. You know, we'll start there. They got the win after the depressing loss last week. Very close fought Seattle Seahawks game. They come back this week. And what did we talk about, Maz? We talked about didn't matter how they won this game. We wanted them to be physical on defense, and we wanted them to get they wanted them to have more points than the other team did. And boy, was that defense physical time as well.
It sure was. They got after it. Finally, they got after that pass. They got after that quarterback. Desmond Ritter was running for his life yesterday, and I'm sure he's going to see Detroit Lions, Honolulu blue and silver in his nightmares. Matter of fact, the rookies really showed out yesterday, led by Brian Branch, 11 tackles for Brian Branch, number 32. Let's put up that stat as well. You'll see a bunch of them that did a big thing. Sam Laporta catches his first touchdown in his career, a 45-yarder from Jared Goff. And he was saying, I couldn't wait for that ball to come down.
Yeah.
He broke through that secondary like it was nothing.
Is it just me, or was that very eerily similar to Jamison Williams' first touchdown last year?
very
Wide
much.
open, same area, waiting for the ball to come
Good
down.
point.
But you brought up two guys that were who? They were Brad Holmes draft picks, talking about Sam Laporta, 8 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. I was talking about Brian Branch, 11 tackles. He was everywhere, including that vicious hit that was not a flag, by the way. Big win for Detroit. They get back in the winning column. And Dan Campbell, it's good to see him at the podium talking about a win. Check it out. This is Dan Campbell at the podium.
In the locker room, actually, first.
Yeah.
Let's check him out in the locker room.
Man, you guys, you responded. Everybody. I'm proud of everybody in this room. You guys on the staff, I appreciate you, man. I really do. Seriously. Defense, we talked about our identity. We talked about it as a team. The defense, that's it. That's it. You know what this film's going to say? Because I can see it on the sideline. We look hungry. We looked hungry. We played hungry. We played violent. Defense, you just kept giving us the ball back. Right? Offense, just patience. Rush for over 100, by the way. And then when we needed it, bam, we hit. And it was just a matter of time before that big old boulder just cracked. And that was because of you guys. That's an outstanding job. I'm proud of you. All right? That's the way to bounce back. Right? And that's what we got to do. Guess what? We're going to Green Bay all tomorrow. It's going to be freaking great, guys. We know that place well, don't we? We know it well. That's an outstanding win. We're back to 2-1. We need to get to 3-1. All right? Awesome. Break it down.
Hey, bring it up, fellas. That's a great win today. That's just a start for us, though. We got to keep building. But you know what time it is? We starting up in the division. Let's go. We in the division this week, and we got to set the tone. Set the tone. What better way to go in somebody else's backyard and set the tone? Take care of your bodies. Come in tomorrow. Let's ready to work. Let's get family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Woohoo! Amen. You want to keep drinking that Kool-Aid, guys? I got the place for you. If you're looking for some great sports talk tonight, we got it. It's a nightcap for you. It's Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Check them out weekdays, 8 to 10 o'clock at night. We got you covered. Join Booner and Broder every single night to hear some of Detroit's sports hottest takes. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder from 8 to 10 on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, Bray.
And that was courtesy of DetroitLions.com. And the thing that I loved about that message to the team is we were violent, we were physical, we got after them, we pushed them back. Detroit Lions dominated that game in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And that's what we talked about. That's what you want to see. This team is supposed to be physical. One of the guys I asked to see from, I cracked the joke, but I was serious. I said, friend of the show, we haven't seen him this season, though, is Cam Sutton.
Yep.
I saw Cam Sutton a lot in that game this past Sunday, and then you hear him breaking it down. And they're talking about the rivalry coming up with the Green Bay Packers, and it is a big game. But let's stay with the Falcons game for that. The rookies, once again, got to go back to the rookies. It was so fun watching the guys that Brad Holmes drafted, the math scientists. You see Brian Branch getting that game, and he was dominant. It all was to the tune. He reminded me of Honey Badger. And the reason I say Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, he was a DB when he came out of LSU. He gets drafted by the Cardinals. They try to figure out where's his place. By the time he gets to the Texans, he's a full-blown safety. That's the type of energy that I saw out of Brian Branch. SEC, maybe there's something there.
You know what Stick and Anson call him?
What?
The Honey Brancher.
Yeah, there you go. See,
What do you think?
I like it.
The
I
Honey
like it.
Brancher.
We might have to do something with it though. It's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's like a cheap spin-off.
Hey,
though.
even Jack Campbell got into it. I mean, he ended the first half with a sack. He sacks Desmond Ridder and then runs into the locker room. That's the way to end the half. And the Falcons really never threatened the Lions. I never felt that they were going to win that game. The only thing I was worried about, that third quarter, lots of penalties on both teams. And it looked like the Lions were just waiting for letting Atlanta just hang out and hang in. The old Lions, you know what happens. The Atlanta Falcons would have stole that game. Not this team. This team played hard, and they locked it up in the fourth quarter, thanks to Jared Goff's legs.
And we'll get to that in a second, but you're absolutely right. They locked it up. You never seen close. The defense played extremely well, and it starts off with the guy we were talking about, and Brian Branch having that kind of game. It gives Players that come out of certain schools, you know what they're going to be in the NFL. They come out of Alabama, they come out of LSU, they come out of Ohio State. Minus the quarterback position, they seem to play well. But let's hear from Dan Campbell on the way that Brian Branch played in this game. Excuse me.
Totally agree. He really stepped up. You know, you could feel his energy. And I've said this, he gets better every practice, every day he gets a little bit better. And now some of those critical errors aren't as, you know, particularly today, you know, he's making big plays in critical moments as opposed to the other way. So there again, he just, the more he plays, the better he gets. And the more he understands what we're trying to do with him. And he's a playmaker.
He's a pro, a kid already.
100%. And the thing I'm starting to like, and we talked about this also too, is young guys, getting them in good position, putting them in good positions to be successful. This is game 3 now for the Detroit Lions, where it was game 3 for the Detroit Lions. You want to start seeing your rookies be more impactful in the game. You want to see them look confident. When you got a guy getting 11 tackles, when you got the other night catching 8 passes for 86 yards and a touchdown, it seems like Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are doing a great job of getting the rookies implemented.
Hey, good bounce back for Aaron Glenn's defense. Yeah. Everyone wanted his head on a platter last week, although the offense gave up most of those points, right?
This is true.
I mean, you can't really blame the defense for last week's loss to Seattle. But this week, they shut down a pretty darn good Atlanta team. And Dan Campbell was talking about Atlanta, like when he came right out and talked to the press. We're going to play that cut for you now. He basically said, we beat a good Atlanta team.
That was a big win. I was proud of our guys. I was really proud of the staff. You know, it's not always easy to deal with me, and so they did a great job of prepping these players. And collectively, you know, wanting to bounce back after last week. You know, it was a tough loss, and we knew the type of opponent was coming in here. That's a good football team. That's a physical football team. And, you know, if you're not on your game, you know, I mentioned this, but that team will run right through you. And man, we played a physical, violent game. Our defense was outstanding. AG did a hell of a job. And we looked like a hungry team. We looked like a hungry, violent defense. You know, we got takeaways, we had tackles, TFLs. Guys were flying around the football, pretty good in coverage, and we were around the quarterback a lot. So I was proud of those guys. I was proud when we needed the most on offense. You know, we came through with a big one. And Goff hung in there. He took a few shots, but man, he played a tough game, and that old line just kept banging away, you know. And but look, it's a great win. It really is.
And that's what it comes down to in the NFL. Is the last thing he said in that presser. It's a good win. It's the NFL. You got to win in this NFL, especially when you're at home, especially bouncing back from a game in Seattle. And I think they did that. We'll talk more about the Lions and the offense, but just that physicality, like that level of aggression that they played with. I mean, shoot, Atlanta went 4-14 on 4th down. They went 0-1 on 4th down. They jumped off sides, but the energy was there in the crowd, but the Lions defense definitely got some of that going. But now let's talk about the offense a little bit. But before we do that, why don't we hear a little something from Mark White?
All right.
Over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason without any penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right. Want to experience extreme elite cannabis? Well, you can do it at Dispo. Dispo Romeo is now open till midnight, but 12 locations around the state. So there should be one next to you. There's one in Whitmore Lake that we went to 2 weeks ago, just opened up by Ann Arbor. They have the best cannabis and the best ways to consume your cannabis. You might want to give Dispo a chance. And remember, they are open till midnight of some of these experiences. Dispo, your local plug.
As much as you want to talk about playing that type of defense, it's hard to bank on that. You know, offensive football has really come a long way, and so it's very difficult. And I think that's pretty telling for what we were able to do today. You know, that was an impressive performance by our guys, and you know, it helps when you're able to take them out of what they do best, which we were able to do. You know, that's what we were trying to do last week against Seattle is take them out of that game. But we were able to do it today, and now you feel like you got the upper hand. So we were able to do that early. Offense was able to hold on to that ball and score enough points and, you know, kind of stay within that 2-score lead. And, you know, it really allowed us to do a lot of things defensively. So
Thank you for that, and that's DetroitLions.com. You're able to do a lot defensively, Maz, when you get after the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
That has been a big thing we've been talking about in the first 2 games, not being after the quarterback. No sacks against Patrick Mahomes didn't really keep him off to a certain extent, except John Kaminsky's play and maybe Pascal. And then last week, you only had the 1 sack. It was Anzalone, and it wasn't really a quarterback pressure type sack. So people have been charging these guys, man. People were coming after them saying, hey, I want to see you get to the quarterback. Hey, you told me all this about Aiden Hutchinson and why you drafted him 2nd overall. 6 sacks in that game for the Detroit Lions. Benito Jones got in on the action. Derek Barnes made an appearance as well. And Aiden Hutchinson, your boy, Maz, he had 2 sacks.
Matter of fact, he had a huge day. Look at that day. He's really – we're hard on him here in Detroit. But his numbers are good. His numbers are good. They speak for themselves.
First NFL player to – produced 10 sacks and 3 interceptions within the first 20 games of his career.
That?
And that 3 interceptions last season was not only a rookie record, that was a defensive end record, period. The most interceptions by a rookie. We're hard on him. You know why, Maz? It's because we see greatness out of him. We see what his ability can be. When you see T.J. Watt winning defensive MVP,
what a stud.
When you see Joey Bosa, when you see Nick Bosa, when you see these guys and you know you have one, you just want him to be what you know he's already going to be. He's going to be a guy for the Lions. When he gets to the quarterback, they'll have success. And you know what? This is Aiden Hutchinson on his big day.
Yeah, it was great, man. I was waiting to do the stanky leg for about 3 games now, so it's been in my head for a very long time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start thinking about some new dances now.
Yeah, he needs a new dance.
So I forgot that was the end of the interview, so I was ready to jump back into Aiden the day he had, but we got to pause for that stanky leg just one time. What do you give – Kool-Aid, I come to you first.
Please.
What do you give the stanky leg, the fake hamstring injury into the stanky leg by Aiden Hutchinson, a scale of 1 to 5?
You know what, man? I got to give him a 4 for his effort.
Okay.
I don't know if he quite executed it, but you know what? He put it all on the line in front of the whole stadium after a big play. I'll give him a 4.
Okay.
I'll give him a 4.
Parker, I come to you. Out of 5, what does Aiden Hutchinson get for the stanky leg?
It's like 3, man.
Gets
It was like it was so
Parker.
mediocre.
I love
the Billie
Parker.
Jean was way better. That he needs to bring that back. The Michael Jackson celebration is his thing.
Okay.
That's true.
Maz, last one. We'll get back on to it.
I'm with Parker 100%.
You with 3?
Dump the stanky leg.
Dump the stanky leg.
And you know what else? Dump the one eye.
Yeah.
Dump the one eye black thing. I'm done with that too.
All right, I will agree with both of you guys. I agree that the stanky leg was indeed trash, but I agree with Kool-Aid on the fact that, did you see how fast he wrapped Desmond Ridder up, jumped into the fake hamstring pull, into the stanky leg? So I got to give the whole play a 4. When I watch all of it together, That was amazing how fast he wrapped them up. But downstairs, you heard what he said.
What's with the fake hamstring thing? I've seen a bunch of players do this fake thing now.
Didn't like Steven Tulloch try to celebrate and tore his ACL?
Well, yeah, he did.
But that's it. So maybe he was trying to.
That was back in the day against the Packers. I'll never forget that game.
Maybe he's trying to play on that, if you will, and come on, do it. I don't know. Maybe he just allowed him to get to his leg, allowed him to get low.
Maybe
allowed him to get low.
Maybe.
But all jokes aside, Aiden Hutchinson 2 sacks on the day. You saw that.
I did.
That guy is getting to the quarterback, but the whole defensive line, Maz, they got after the quarterback yesterday in Desmond.
No doubt, man. Listen to this. Brian Branch, 11 tackles.
Yep.
Jerry Jacobs, 7. Tracy Walker.
6.
4 solos.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell, 6 and a sack. Alex Anzalone. He played very well early on.
Yeah.
He set the tone. He wound up with 6 as well. Aiden Hutchinson, 4 and 2 sacks. You can go on and on and on, all the way down the line. Everybody got involved. And you know what they did the best? They held another team under 100 yards rushing. And if you do that to the Falcons, you're going to beat them 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, 100%. The Falcons have done some. Bijan Robinson had over 100 yards of total offense in each game. He had less than that yesterday.
Jameer outgained him.
You know what I love about that? When you play against guys like in the same class or that you might have been compared to, or guys that they may say, oh, this is a running back taking 12. He's a running back taking 8th or 9th. You guys are always going to be linked at the hip. When you go into those games, man, even though you're not going against Bijan Robinson, you want to have more rushing yards than Bijan Robinson. You want to have more receiving yards than Bijan Robinson, as Parker puts up the stats for Brad Holmes' draft picks yesterday, and I go back to that.
Pretty good.
The good thing, too, about the game as a whole, now we can go outside the rim of just the draft picks. You needed to see the players that we wanted, the players that we needed to make plays, man. They made plays yesterday. Cam Sutton, I saw him twice with passes defense on 3rd and long. I saw Tracy Walker. We said somebody had to step up with CJ out. Somebody had to step up, and guess what? 7 total tackles for Tracy Walker to go with the 11 that Brian Branch. We said on offense, we need to see Ben Johnson put Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta in some good spaces so that they can start to have some success as a rookie year. Everybody that you needed Aiden Hutchinson to show me why he was number 2 pick. You needed the Ben Johnson to show me why he's this offensive coordinator. Everybody that was supposed to show up yesterday showed up for the most part.
And you know what? Dan Campbell kind of scaled back his offense, his 4th down, right?
Yep.
He didn't, no 4th down chances in this game. And he looked back because Atlanta, like I told you guys, they had stopped 2 teams already earlier in the year 3 times on 4th down. So Dan Campbell, all right, we're not going to go on 4th down. We're going to bring in Jack Fox, let him unleash a 60-yard punt. Let him do all those good things. Everything worked yesterday just enough to get the win against a team that's they're like a black and blue team, Atlanta. I mean, they're like the Lions. They don't have as much talent as the Lions, but they are similar to the Lions.
Yeah, speaking about not as much talent as the Lions, let's get on that, the offensive side of the ball. Not necessarily the prettiest performance, if you will, but Ben Johnson looked like he was trying to get the ball established between the tackles with Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs had 80. I think he was 4.7 in carry, so much better than he's been in the past. They got him some more touches. And then also on offense, Jared Goff, he looked the part early. They looked really good in the first half with the passing game, and they found the middle of the field. The middle of the field has been Jared Goff. He's a rhythm thrower, man.
He missed a couple plays.
He did. He definitely
missed
did.
Khalif Raymond on one. But he hit most of his thing. 1 interception, it's all right. 1 interception, that's it. That's good. Just keep it to a minimum. Keep it to a minimum. What I want to see more, and I know everyone in the chat wants to see more, I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs catch some passes. Only 1 yesterday. You need to use that guy even more. They tried to run him in between the tackles yesterday. That's not his forte.
Yeah.
But he still did okay. And they used the Bam Knight.
Yeah, they did.
They used Craig Reynolds, Netflix. I mean, they used almost every single player they had at their disposal. That's where the depth comes in.
You definitely got a lot of players from y'all some work yesterday, and look, Dan Campbell definitely scaled it back. But you know why he scaled it back, man? You can't necessarily not see what you saw. He didn't fear that team. Like, when you don't fear a team like that, you don't need to go for it on extras. You don't need to press the envelope. Trust the guy that was the best punter in the NFL to me last year in Fox. Get the ball down there and play to your defense. But when your defense is playing like that, it makes it easier. But you know what I want to see start seeing more of? And you called it last week. Kool-Aid, tell me you don't like the connection of Jared Goff to Sam Laporta.
I love the connection, bro. I love it. I think this is what people were waiting for.
Yeah.
I know that we're waiting to see Jahmyr Gibbs get more receptions, but Laporta, man, he's a big-time, big-game. I'm going to call him wide receiver, but tight end.
Ooh, hey, you know what? Travis Kelce plays a little bit more wide receiver than he plays tight end, so that's not bad assessment. You know who else loves the connection of Sam Laporta is the other guy in that equation, Jared Goff. Here's Jared Goff on Sam Laporta. My apologies.
He's a stud, man, and he does a great job, and had that play kind of rigged up all week. We knew he liked it, and he ran a great route and was able to throw it to him wide open. It's a good one to hit there. It feels good.
That's a great connection, and you know what? That's his guy. Forget Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's the #1 guy, all right? Yeah. But I'm telling you, Jared Goff is very comfortable with Sam Laporta. They got something going, and he was my player. We spoke on Friday. Who you think was going to stick out? I said Sam Laporta was going to have 100 yards and a touchdown. I was just missed it. But that's a kid that we all talked about at the beginning of the year when we said the Lions are short on wide receivers. We said, wait, this guy Laporta is that guy. And just wait till J-Mo comes back, and we'll see what he gives us.
Look,
3 more games.
Sam Laporta is filthy at tight end. And what I mean by that is, 1, he's catching everything. He's not going to drop anything. 2, one of the biggest reasons we're happy to get him is because of what? Yards after catch. Yeah. He finds a way to get yards after the catch. He finds a way to get that extra yard. Just like that play last week on 3rd down in the 4th quarter where he gets the extra yards to get the first down. He's fun to watch. And Jared Goff, look, when you play at that position, that quarterback position, no matter who's your wide receiver, if you got a good tight end, you always have a safety blanket. You always have a guy that you know you can get over the middle. You got a guy that can finagle and wiggle room, if you will, and create. Like, look, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they don't even go on script most of the time. No. A lot of times Patrick Mahomes just buys time and he lets Travis create his own stuff. I'm not telling Jared Goff to do that, but I'm just saying.
It would be nice.
It would be.
It would be nice. I got word from Randy Wise as well, so stay tuned for this. You guys know you want to play golf like a celebrity, and you can do that thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make sure you guys make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more of the details on how you can play golf like a celebrity.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable on their and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting and active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has a ton of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You can get all this just $10 a month. Yes, we are still just $10 a month. You can also get a black card from Planet Fitness. Gives you a couple extra perks like the tanning salon and the massage chairs, but go to Planet Fitness today and register for more information.
Thanks for the big guys for holding up to allow Jared to launch that ball down the field to me. But yeah, it felt like it hung in the air for like 15 seconds. I was just praying for it to come down. And I have a lot of family here today. For them to witness that and experience that with me, and it was basically right in front of them in the family section. So that was really cool. I appreciate the coaches for drawing that one up for me, and the other 10 guys for executing.
He just screams great guy, great player. He seems so innocent and so young when you watch that interview, and glad shout out to him for his first touchdown this past Sunday. Those tight ends are a position that if you got a really good tight end, tight ends can help you out tremendously. Tight ends can make plays down the field. I mean, 1,300 yards last year for Travis Kelce. I mean, he was third in the league in receiving yards by any position. How good do you think Sam Laporta, because I know the chat's on fire right now talking about the kid out of Iowa. How good do you think Sam Laporta could be, Maz?
Well, he's so good that they were able to give up T.J. Hockenson to a division rival and not even bat an eyelash on it, because they come back and they knew who they wanted to draft. They knew they wanted Jahmyr Gibbs, they wanted Sam Laporta, they wanted Jack Campbell, and they wanted Brian Branch. And all 4 of those guys showed yesterday. But the tight end position is huge. Look who coaches our team. Dan Campbell, former tight end, man. You don't think? And I'm talking like him. You know what I'm talking about, man? He loves this kid. This kid, we talked last week. Dan Campbell talked last week how this kid is, they beat him up in practice. They abuse this guy in practice. And he says he takes it like a champ, and then when it comes time to the game, he steps up his game. This kid's his 3rd game, man. It's his 3rd game. Touchdown, his first one right in front of his family in the family fun zone, right there in that end zone, and 88 yards. Now, the Packers better watch out, man. There's going to be a lot of Sam Laporta on Lambeau coming up on Thursday.
Definitely
nothing but impressed me lately.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, last game, it was just, especially seeing, because I was up in the nosebleeds, and Matt Nelson was on the ground, and it was 67. I'm like, no way. Laporta's on the ground.
Me too, man.
I thought
those
Laporta
numbers,
was down.
I can't tell the numbers.
I thought he was down. So
Me
I'm
too.
like, no way. Pew!
Yep.
Just
Next
touchdown,
play.
and I just see on the screen, oh, he's still up. This kid is electric. This kid is he seems like one of the most polite people in the locker room. But I think Laporta's future might be better than Hawkinson's, and where he's going to be a better fit for Detroit. He seems like a better player alongside Jared Goff. I think trading away T.J. Hockenson might have just helped us find a better tight end.
Although T.J. Hockenson looked very eerily the same as Dan Campbell back in his playing days.
That's
with
true.
that long hair, that wild look of his. That was Dan Campbell back in the day. Now, Dan Campbell looks more like Sam Laporta.
Definitely look more like Sam Laporta, but no.
I had a matter of fact, I'm in the suite on the 5th floor. Parker,
when you make it big time, don't forget about me.
Well,
That's all
I got you.
Don't forget about
I was
the little
invited.
people. Don't forget about that's how it starts.
I was a +1.
Then you start bringing the +1.
Okay, listen. When he was down and it was Matt Nelson, the person in front of me, because I can't see, I'm blind as a bat. So I'm like, who's down? Who's down? She's like, I think it's 87. 87. I'm like, oh my God, 87. And then the next play, bam, for the touchdown. So I was exactly with you on those numbers, man.
Yeah,
I literally couldn't tell.
Luckily, it wasn't 87. It was indeed 67. So
well, not that that's good. That's another lineman down.
That's
They're
true.
3 linemen. They're stuck 3 linemen. You need Taylor Decker so bad this week in Lambeau. I hope he's able to go with that bad ankle.
Just because we said you guys were very, you had a lot of depth at lineman, we didn't mean for you guys to go out there and start getting exactly.
Hey, Colby Sorsdale. What round did they get him? In the 5th round out of William and Mary?
5th.
That kid played. He played good. First time he's out there. So more good news. Another great draft pick.
Yeah,
hopefully.
More good news on the Detroit Lions. They do get the win. And look, you don't want to take anything away from the Falcons. Hard-fought game. Arthur Smith had his guys coached up. They played hard. They at least fought hard. Just couldn't do anything with how well that defense played yesterday. Aaron Glenn had his number. But there's anything in the game that kind of that worried you? And I know these are moments you're supposed to have on Tuesday or supposed to, talk about the win. No, but these are real questions. Is there anything you saw in the game that's come up, been reoccurring, that bothers you, or are you okay?
One thing and one thing only, and it's the injuries.
Okay.
The injuries.
You can't do anything about that.
I know, and that's what's scaring me. Last week against Seattle, it was a bloodbath last week, and then Matt Nelson goes down early in this game. I've had enough of the injuries, and I know the Lions had them early last year, but not like this. I mean, they got 7 or 8 starters that have been injured in the last 2 games, and they got to do well in the NFL. Not only do you have to be good, you got to be lucky. And you got to stay healthy.
Damn sure
Without staying healthy, man, you got nothing. You got nothing. The Packers aren't 100% either. I mean, their number 1 receiver hasn't even played it down yet. But Romeo Doubs has really stepped up, and so has Jordan Love. And we'll talk about the Packers and their comeback yesterday as well.
You brought up injuries. I know this is a quick pivot. I'm kind of into fantasy football now. Like you got this is year 2, and I'm doing all right. I'm 3-0, man, in the Woodward Sports League.
That's good.
But you ain't.
I'm looking at 1 and 2 down the barrel right now. Mike Gentry could put me away tonight. I hope not, though.
I beat him already.
Yeah. You got a pretty good team, considering the computer pick for you.
Hey, look, that even shows you how good I really am.
I know. From now on, if I stay in fantasy football, I'm letting the freaking computer pick for me.
Because they're going to pick the right player.
I'm done,
They're
man.
going to pick the right player for the job. And then I can take out my biases. Because I think a lot of times people draft biasly and they draft the wrong player. But the reason I brought up injuries is I did not pay attention to the Dolphins score. I took a nap.
Wow.
And then, hey, man, look.
What
man,
a team.
Took a nap.
Wow.
Took a nap. Woke up and saw the score. I was so excited because I have Jalen Waddle was wide out. I looked at all.
He sat out.
I still won.
You still won.
I legitimately I'm looking at all the stats. I'm like waiting to see 2 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. There was 3 guys with 4 touchdowns.
And none of them were Jalen Waddle because he was out that game. So that's on me for not stacking my roster.
Hey, for your scoop going forward, listen to me. For your scoop on the Detroit Lions, it's the Woodward and Maine show. That's our Lions Insider show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend, of course, Terry Foster. Episodes are twice a week, Sundays at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then Tuesdays, that's tomorrow, 7 to 8 a.m. The most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and all things Detroit Lions. Just go to YouTube and type in Woodward Sports.
Love Gabby, love Broder, and ran into T. Foss last week at the cider mill. Shout out to T. Foss.
Did you get the cinnamon donuts or the plains?
You got to get the plain.
Really?
You got to get the plain. Plain, you heat them up. Come on, man.
I'm a fan of the plain. I'm a fan of the plain. Look,
there it is.
The cinnamon sugar is okay.
It's
but
okay.
The plain is it, man. It's the classic.
You can warm them up, put them with some ice cream.
All right, Parker, put up a poll.
I'm just saying.
Put up a poll.
It's regular donuts over cinnamon.
I'm gonna make it a prediction. It's gonna be 80-20 cinnamon donuts.
Regular.
No, 80-20.
Man, you can't even reheat the cinnamon sugar ones.
Reheat them. I'm going to eat them right there.
Oh, my God.
Look, see, that's the thing. I get the double dozen, man. I'm coming home with 24 if I go out to Yates.
Well, look, speaking of donuts, somebody looks like they can eat a lot of donuts is Aleem McNeil. We got to get back to that defensive line. Aleem McNeil making some plays out there. And, he talked about the defense and the defensive line.
They're hungry, man.
Going into the season, into the last few weeks, it's like, when this guy's going to make a play, here's Aleem McNeil talking on the defensive line.
Yeah. I would definitely say that. We were hot. Very special. We were definitely hot. We knew we had to come here. But that's not just for today. That's every week. We got to have that same intensity to be hot every week like that. So, that's come off a week like we did last week. Obviously, we're happy about that. Yeah, we were hot.
And he's right. It has to be every single day. Has to be every single weekend. You can't only do it when you're challenged.
Isaiah Buggs was speaking all week.
Exactly.
In this first game, he gets in finally, right? He
finally made it.
Thanks to the injuries, he gets in. He had a half a sack yesterday. Yeah. So he talked all week how the defensive line was going to come out, play hungry, and play with reckless abandon, and that's exactly what they all did. Now, look, they weren't chasing down Geno Smith or Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
They were chasing down third-year guy Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder, I don't know enough about him. Yeah. He threw a couple of good balls yesterday, but not enough to get a job done.
Look, he's not necessarily going to be that starter that I'm worrying about over the years in the NFL, but at the same time, the Atlanta Falcons were what, man? They were 2-0.
Yep.
They were in the NFL, they were 2-0, and they were next step on our hit list. And the defense, we asked the question, could they respond from losing CJ just in terms of the energy and the passion in which he plays with? But we said somebody will step up, whether it's Cam Sutton, who was brought here to be a player, who's on a one-year deal, who's on a proven deal, whether it's Tracy Walker, who's finally happy he's back in the lineup, and can make some plays, or was it going to be Brian Branch, a rookie? Those guys stepped up, and you didn't necessarily feel CJ out, but you're absolutely correct. It was the Falcons, and it would be a bigger test this week against the Falcons.
Against but you know what? The kid that was studying under CJ is Brian Branch, right?
There you go.
Brian Branch and the defense yesterday were announced on the field. Last week was the offense. This week they announced the defense. And Brian Branch, how do you think that kid felt coming out for his first game as a starter, being announced at Ford Field?
You know what?
That's becoming like the Silverdome Light right now. It's the crowd. It's coming, man. Ford Field is becoming a place that you don't want to go and play.
that energy when you get your first start, the first time you come out the tunnel, like the first time they announce you, you come out and you're running, slapping hands with your teammates, and you see the crowd, you really get lost in the moment.
I bet.
I remember the very first time I got lost in the moment. I'm so glad the defense went on the field first, because I still was I was still in the moment.
You were glowing.
Yeah, true. I was. I don't know about glowing, but I definitely was in the moment. So it's good to see Brian Branch, especially a guy that stayed at the draft just so he could walk across the stage, if you remember. And the message right now, the consistent theme seems to be, we're hungry. This is Brian Branch on Being Hungry.
From the loss last week, we was hungry. This is our get-back game. I feel like, and we gonna ride together and shoot. Everybody played for each other tonight, and shoot. That's nothing more.
That's courtesy of Woodward Sports Network, and everybody played for each other. Everybody played for each other. When you play together, when the team wins, right, Maz, when the team, I feel like Shannon calling you Skip.
Yeah,
Skip.
thanks.
Hey, Skip. I mean, not Skip, Stephen A.
Stephen A.
No,
Did you see his first pitch, by the way?
Oh, my, what pitch? It hit the dirt.
Holy crap.
But you know what? I knew he was going to throw that type of ball, because when he was showing on Friday, he was going kind of his warm-ups and how he was going to do it in the studio. I said, that looks horrible. That has to be failure writting all over it, and he does have it.
Parker's got something on that.
Going back to Brian Branch, I don't mean to change the topic.
Oh, I thought you were going on that. Okay, go ahead.
But
so you threw me
right
a curve.
now, a lot of people are. I feel like he's kind of underrated, even with throughout the NFL. I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine. I'm saying, hey, Brian Branch might be a front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year right now, personally. They're like, oh no, Brian Branch won't get it. Christian Gonzalez and Jalen Carter are probably the two front runners right now.
Just one of those players.
One of them.
Jalen Carter.
But Christian Gonzalez also has been a great player.
Yeah, he's been terrific.
But I will be surprised if Brian Branch isn't going to be top 3 in voting by the end of the year.
No, he's definitely one of those type players, and he will be there because it's only going to continue. Like, when you see somebody have this type of ability and this type of talent early on, you don't suppress it. You don't all of a sudden, okay, well, now let's rotate him in with these other safeties, or let's try to No, he's showing you that he's a guy. He's showing you that as a starter. And Nick Saban talked about Brian Branch. He said that he was going to be a surprise defensive sleeper in this draft, said he should be a first-round pick. And he talked about his ability to be able to cover receivers as well as tight ends. He can go slot, he can go outside, he can cover receivers, he can cover tight ends, or these hybrid versions that they have. So, I mean, Alabama speaks for itself. And it's not an automatic when you draft players out of Bama or Ohio State, but you got a damn good shot that player is going to be good. He should have been a first-round talent, and he slips to us in the second round. So Brian Branch having a really, really good rookie campaign.
Yep, we'll take it, man. And you think Alabama would like to have him back this year, the way they're playing? They're not playing too great.
They got to win, though.
They got to win.
They stole the win.
They got to win.
It's always important to win. I think it's going to be only one undefeated team in that Final Four. It's only going to be one undefeated team, I think, in the Final Four. Be? We'll see. I think it's between Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State. Yes. No team in college football has looked good. No, Michigan either. But they are rolling into the season as they start to play bigger teams and start to get better. Jim Harbaugh was his first game. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, I got you.
But college football has been bad as a whole, with the exception of a couple schools. But back to the NFL.
We will after we take this break.
Let's do it.
When we come back, we're going to go around the NFL. Matter of fact, there were some wild games yesterday, and of course, the wildest was in South Florida, and we'll talk about that. And Mike McDaniel, one of my favorite guys in the whole league, is Mike McDaniel.
We'll definitely get into him, but this message right here is from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com, always looking out for you.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today from your local Meijer and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself. That website to register is drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
I don't know why you guys wouldn't get in on the chance to win $100,000 and a trip to Vegas. All you got to do is go to drinkcitron.com to sign up and fill in. Parker's been telling you this now for the better part of 5, 6 weeks. There it is. I was going to be nice. 3 months. Sign up. Get into the contest. We don't get anything by you supporting Cintron. We want you to win that money. Maz, outside of the Detroit Lions yesterday, there were 12 other games going on. Why don't you do me a favor and take us through Sunday?
Let's do it, guys. Everyone lock in for Around the NFL. Let's start it off in Baltimore. The weather wasn't very good. Neither was the Ravens' offense. The Colts, 22. The Ravens, 19 in overtime. Listen to this. First of all, Gardner Minshew pulled a Dan Orlovsky.
Yep.
Dan Orlovsky is now off the hook. Gardner Minshew stepped on the back line, scrambling for his life as they were chasing him, and he gave up a safety, but they come back. Matt Gay with all the field goals, 5 of them, over 50 yards apiece.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns for the Ravens, both on the ground, both from Lamar Jackson. They are in trouble. I know they're your team. They don't have a running game since J.K. Dobbins went down. They got Gus Edwards and a bunch of guys that you never heard of after that. And if it's up to just Lamar Jackson to run the ball, you ain't going to win many games.
Yeah, whoever had Gay yesterday in fantasy cleaned up 5 field goals. But looking at that Baltimore situation, now we can talk about J.K. Dobbins being injured. We can talk about left tackle being injured. And then Gus Edwards not having good performance. But I'm worried. This was my sleeper pick for Super Bowl. I picked them coming out of the AFC. I picked Lamar Jackson to be MVP. I bought into the Todd Monken offensive coordinator, and he was going to come in and he was going to change this thing up. And Baltimore was going to be they're going to look brand new, better than ever with Zay Flowers and OBJ, and here's Mark Andrews. They look the same.
Yep.
They look the exact same. Lamar Jackson making bad throws in the first half, them not putting Lamar Jackson in good situations in the first half. I'm worried about Baltimore. There's no way they should have lost to the Indianapolis Colts yesterday on 5 field goals.
Colts are 2-1, and they played without Anthony Richardson, who had a concussion. Justin Tucker had a chance to win it in regulation. He was 1 yard short on like a 63-yard field goal at the end of regulation.
Listen, I understand it's fun. Justin Tucker has the leg. He is the guy. He made the kick here in Detroit. But you can't rely on 62-yard field goals at all times. You can't rely on his leg being that big at all times. If you lose to a team where the quarterback steps out of the end zone, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Agreed.
If
at home.
Quarterback steps out of the end zone. When Jimmy G stepped out of the end zone last year, they lost. As you should.
Hey, that's the revenge of the old Baltimore Colts. They came into Baltimore and beat the new Ravens. So there you go. Chalk one up for 2-1 Indianapolis. How about the Packers and the Saints? Saints were up 17-0 at Lambeau. Back come the Packers with 18 straight points. And New Orleans missed a 47-yard field goal at the end of the game. Jordan Love got it done. Romeo Doubs with the game-winning catch.
Can you add the most important caveat to that whole scenario? Who got hurt in the fourth quarter? Derek Carr. They were up 17. Derek Carr goes down.
Shoulder injury.
They lose 18-17. So that's more on Derek Carr getting hurt than it is Jordan Love winning the game.
And he might be out for a while.
Yeah,
they say. So that's not good for the Nola. How about the Chargers and the Vikings? We told you the loser of this game would be
Brandon Staley.
0-3. Brandon Staley's Chargers pulled it off. 28-24 over the Vikings in Minnesota. Vikings had a chance to win it at the end, and they didn't want to call a timeout. They're down inside the 5-yard line as time is going down, under 40 seconds. They didn't spike the ball. Kevin O'Connell was like, let's try to get this thing in. No timeout, no timeout. Guess what?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins couldn't hear what the play was. He called a different play. T.J. Hockenson tipped off his hand. Interception. Vikings lose their third straight one-score game.
This is the type of situations that I'm talking about with Kirk Cousins, as him not being able to get it done in big-time moments, big games. Brandon Staley, side note, fire him fast. Why did they go for it on 4th down where Minnesota has no timeouts and you need Kirk Cousins to march you down the field to win the game? It's not like I said it's Geno Smith on the other side.
Yeah.
It's Kirk Cousins. What does he do in big moments? But this is on Kirk Cousins in terms of.
I think it's on O'Connell.
It's on both of them. It's on both of them for this standpoint. You're a quarterback. You've been a Pro Bowl level quarterback for the past 8 years. He's been a Pro Bowl level. He made the Pro Bowl in Washington. It's your job. Boom. Why do you think you have quarterbacks that are experienced veterans in moments like that where you can't hear anything? So you say, you know what? I'll
spike it.
Thank you. Spike it. They gave the ball to the backup running back. Anyway.
Yeah, Brandon Staley
fire
escaped.
both the coaches.
He you know what? You might have something there. You might have something there.
And I love Kevin O'Connell because we played on the same team with the Jets, but it is not looking good for them.
Keenan Allen.
Got him in fantasy.
18 catches, 219 yards.
No touchdowns.
I know. But when he shows up, he shows up. He does.
Yeah, 100%. And that situation, last thing I'll say, Kellen Moore, I keep saying it, that the replacement for the Chargers is already in the building because there is one side of the ball that's looking okay, and that's the offense.
Yes.
Justin Herbert has been lights out, still no interceptions through 3 games, 215 yards. Keenan Allen with Mike Williams hurt.
And he scored. He had 140 yards before he got hurt.
The offensive side of the ball, I will tell you that.
And that's without Austin Eckler, by the way. Seattle.
Have you seen J.C. Jackson, by the way?
No.
I'm just asking. Since he got paid with the Patriots, have you seen?
No.
I don't think he was a healthy scratch yesterday.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Seattle beat Carolina in Seattle. Home opener for the Seahawks, 37-27. Geno Smith just keeps winning. Congrats to the Seahawks.
Did you see Zach Charbonnet truck that safety?
He's all right, that kid.
Yeah.
They got him in K9. That's a hell of a backfield.
We knew he was good when he left Michigan. Then he balled out at UCLA.
Sheesh. Well, he's a good pro.
Yeah.
Cleveland. How about those Browns? They looked good yesterday. They beat the Tennessee Titans 27-3. Derrick Henry, I think he got hurt.
I got him in both fantasies.
Myles Garrett, 3 sacks. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett is a beast.
In fact, I'm about to put Derrick Henry on the trading block right now.
Well, let's do this first before you do that.
Joking.
Okay, here's the upset of the day.
All right.
Even before we get to Dallas.
The Colts-Baltimore one upset?
No. Houston Texans. They win it start to finish at Jacksonville, 37-17. How about C.J. Stroud? He's looking okay, man. He might break the jinx of Ohio State quarterbacks.
He's definitely looking the part there so far. How about Jacksonville Jaguars? You know somebody that's happy.
They're struggling.
You know somebody that's happy right now. There's one person of us that said he did not like the Jaguars, said he didn't like Trevor Lawrence. He's not with us today.
Right.
It's Ryan Ermanni. He might have been right.
Hey, Parker, tell me about this kid named, what's his name, Tank?
Tank Dell?
Tank Dell.
Dude, he is, he just got drafted out of Houston, and man, my friend Evan, who I was at the game with, he was like, dude, you gotta look at this kid, Tank Dell. I see this kid, dude. He had something. I saw something in that kid. I was
5 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown.
In college, correct? Or no, was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, he's amazing. Sorry, I didn't have the stats
No,
in
you're
front of
good.
me, but that's a guy I really wish the Lions would have grabbed, especially with us knowing that we had the wide receiver depth that wasn't as good. But if we had, dude, Tank Dell might be. He has a lot of potential.
We took a receiver. Took Antoine Green, who played well yesterday. Good blocking from him.
Tank Dell's better.
Okay, well, you might be right there.
When you draft the wide receiver, and the first thing you say is good blocking out of him.
They got to break him in.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
The Patriots, 15. The Jets, 10. The Jets are in turmoil with Zach Wilson. They are in turmoil. That is 15 straight wins by the New England Patriots over the New York Jets. They talked to Robert Saleh after the game, and he said, well, Zach gives us the best chance to win. And that's not saying much, man. They must do something.
Robert Saleh is on the chopping block.
That's not his fault.
But hear me out. Hear me out. He's going to be on the chopping block if he doesn't listen to me right now. I love what the Jets are doing on defense, but even their defense is giving up plays and being out of position. On the offensive side, last year, they celebrated when Zach Wilson got hurt. They were celebrating because Mike White could now be the quarterback, or anybody but Zach Wilson could be the quarterback. And now, the offseason, they put all their hopes and dreams in Aaron Rodgers. They talked about Aaron this, Aaron that. They couldn't wait. They got Aaron Rodgers, and then he gets injured. We knew that after that game, 2 weeks, you would start to deal with the stages of grief and realize what it really was.
The stages of grief.
The stages of grief. The New York Jets, as much as I love them, they are dead in the water unless they go get a quarterback. And the problem with that is implementing a quarterback at this standpoint. Yeah. It sucks to say they are out of it. But I will say this about the Patriots. They play good defense. What do we talk about? I said they play good defense. The defense is going to shut them out. But they don't have any players on offense. They had one explosive play.
Zeke got 80.
Yeah, he
got 80.
He banged some yards out.
Yeah.
He had one explosive play, and it was the backup tight end on the play. So I just still don't believe in Patriots.
All right, here's the upset of the day, part 2. Arizona 28, the Dallas Cowboys 16. Yes, Arizona beat the Dallas Cowboys, and with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback.
What's my favorite saying?
Dak Prescott will lose you a game.
Dak gonna always Dak. Dak is going to always Dak Prescott. Look, everybody was hyping the Dallas Cowboys before this game. They're the best team. They're number one. The defense is the best defense since Lawrence Taylor, and they're gonna do this. And I said, Dak hasn't had to beat anybody yet. Dak Prescott hasn't been put in a situation where he had to do anything this season. Well, they needed him in this game, and guess who threw an interception in the triple coverage when the game was over?
It was bad. And what did he say afterwards, you said? This is damning. Guys, listen to what he said at the podium. First words out of his mouth.
You guys, I know you guys are happy. You guys built us up. This is who you built us up for this to happen. Two comments.
What?
Two comments came out of Dallas that I thought were despicable. One was this one. We built you up. That sounds like a guy that doesn't trust himself. That sounds like a guy who.
Dallas Cowboys.
He threw another interception. He's frustrated. He's at the podium. He says, I know you guys are happy you built this up. Are you worried about the media or winning games? Are you worried about not throwing interceptions in the clutch at the end of the game? Or are you worried about the media saying that you guys are the best team in the league? It's our fault. Dak Prescott, man, I've said you're always going to Dak, but I always respected you at the podium. It's the first time in his career I didn't respect him at the podium. And then Micah Parsons made the comment.
Yeah.
He said, we can't play down to our level of competition. Kool-Aid, let me tell you like this. We've all hooped at Lifetime. We've all or been in college, played at the CCRB. Yes, when you go to Lifetime, sometimes you play down to your competition because you don't want to get hurt. You got these guys out there going hard or they're bums. Yep. You're like, we'll beat these teams. Sometimes you get beat, but you play down to your level of competition. When you're making $30 to $40 to $50 to $60 million a year, you're not playing down to your level of competition. You're getting paid to do a job. Your job is to go out there as a defensive coordinator, as an offensive coordinator, as players. Do what you're supposed to do. There's no reason they should lose to the Cardinals that game, and that comment was stupid.
But I will say this, Jonathan Gannon's got them playing hard.
I agree.
They could easily have had 3 wins already. The Cardinals.
They're 2-1. And was Washington stole a win?
Yeah.
Washington stole at the end.
Isn't that something?
Hey, look, man, they changed that culture. Everybody was saying maybe this changing culture down there because they look physical. They looked physical. It's hard to get teams to fake physical. You can't fake physical.
I saved the best games for the next part of the break. So we're going to a break here.
All right,
but I've got the best stuff coming. You guys know where I'm going. I saved it.
We'll take a break right here, and then when we come back, we'll finish off the season. Also, it's time to do studs and duds, man. Our studs and duds of the week. But first, let me give you a message from Glorious Cannabis. Glorious. I was thinking the same thing at the same time. Glorious Cannabis, it's the Honolulu Blue. Just like last week when you wanted to celebrate, when you wanted to smoke because you're depressed, well, now you can smoke because you celebrate. Honolulu Blue, Glorious Canna. That's CANN.com. And also it's sold wherever they sell cannabis.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handles, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Co. has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipmentCompany.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us today. Family emergency. We wish him the best. I always like that read because it says weed whippers. I don't know why. That just sounds so funny to me, but you can always be a kid at Outdoor Equip Co. Maz, you were taking us around the NFL.
That's right. Back to the scoreboard we go. Here it goes, guys. The Miami Dolphins did the impossible. They did the impossible.
Oh, yeah.
They scored 70 yesterday, and they could have had more. They could have had the record. Yeah. Instead of kicking a field goal at the end, Mike McDaniel's like, I'll take it easy and take our foot off the gas. 70-20 over the Denver Broncos. 70-20.
What do you mean take my foot off the gas? That's the most point scored since 67.
I know.
They didn't take their foot off the gas. They were gassing them all freaking day. I cannot believe Jalen Waddle did not play in this game. For the Denver Broncos to give Mike McDaniel an opportunity to be a ball boy and get a chance to be on the sideline, he sure repaid them in kind.
He
70
sure did.
points.
Hey, here is it. Tua Tagovailoa, 4 touchdowns
MVP.
in 3 quarters only. Raheem Mostert, 142 yards, 4 touchdowns. And rookie, the guy that I swear to you, I almost picked him up on fantasy this week just to stock him away.
Yeah.
Can't get him anymore. Devon Arshane, 233 yards, 4 touchdowns for their rookie running back.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? Imagine being a player having 212 yards and 4 touchdowns, and somebody on your team had more than both or tied you in one.
Ain't that something?
Shane had more fantasy points than Mostert. And Mostert had 4 touchdowns.
And Tyreek Hill, you don't even talk about him. He had 150 yards and a touchdown as well.
Just 154.
Just a regular day for him.
Just 154.
Here's the Dolphins after the game. Mike McDaniel, he's the magician.
Yo, spade a spade, that's a historic victory, okay? And what I want you guys to understand and take from it is it's about our standard and nothing else, okay? Offensively, you put up some historic numbers today because you didn't give a f about the scoreboard, okay? Defense, literally any time that we shortchanged ourselves, you guys came up with a play and then we piggybacked. We are just getting started. I am so proud of everyone. I want you guys to enjoy it, but keep it in perspective. It is a 3rd win. We care about our standard and our standard only.
Hey, y'all, boy. We got to keep building this, man. Hey, fans on 3, 1, 2, 3. Fans. Woo!
Courtesy of the Miami Dolphins on X. Mike McDaniel, I love this guy. I really, truly do. Dan Campbell's number 1. This guy would be number 2 in my book. Do you know, Braylon, that yesterday the Miami Dolphins scored more points than the New York Jets have scored all season long?
Yeah, them and the Broncos, the team that they were facing. I'll take that back. Wow.
Isn't that something?
726 yards is what the Dolphins had in total yards yesterday. The New York Jets on the season have 675 yards. The Broncos have 69 points on the season, and the Dolphins scored 70 on them.
I mean, the numbers are unbelievable.
They're staggering, and they should be. This isn't something where you look at it and you try to find an excuse. You try to find a reason to dock the 70 points, to dock 2 4 touchdown performances, to dock anything that happened. No, Mike McDaniel is the coach of the year right now, and Tua is the MVP. Conversely, on the other side of the ball,
yeah, there's trouble in paradise.
I just got one thing to say. You can't break code, and is what
Sean Payton.
Okay, I had to look back. No, it's what Sean Payton did. Sean Payton breaks NFL code. He talks about Nathaniel Hackett and says, you know what, this guy Nathaniel Hackett did the worst coaching job that I've ever seen. This place was chaos, this, that, and the third. When you make comments like that and you come into that same place, Parker Kool-Aid, tell me if I'm wrong, then that means you're supposed to help change the culture of that place. That means you're supposed to put it into a better light than where it was. 70 points and 0-3 ain't better than where it was last year. Now, I know you can tell me statistically that they are better on offense and it takes time.
It's all garbage.
I get that. 70 points? Played in the NFL, never saw a 70-point game. Been watching a lot of NFL my whole life, never saw a 70-point game.
But even crazier, like, Sean Payton just showed, like, that culture there in Denver is just not good. He was just like, this is embarrassing. Like, obviously.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Do you see what he did to his starting quarterback?
He left Russell in the game.
He left Russell Wilson play to the end of that game.
Russell is probably gone. I would not be surprised if they cut him, honestly, at this point. I honestly, just Sean Payton just showing that he just does not care for that guy.
Yeah, that was wild, man. Is that like stuff that's against the unwritten code in the NFL to leave him in like that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there was a lot of those codes that were broken in that game yesterday.
That guy Adam Gase fired with the New York Jets. Do you remember the game he left Sam Darnold in there and the guy said, I see ghosts?
Yeah.
He left him in there the whole game. It was 9 sacks in that game. The game was over in the second quarter. Same thing happened with this game. I understand he's your quarterback and you want to leave him in there and make him deal with this because you believe he is the root of all the problems. But I'm telling you, you're absolutely incorrect. Your job as a coach is to keep them in some. You got to do something, man. And I'm not a head coach, and I don't know exactly how the head coaching works in terms of lighting fire on an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. But if I'm an OC, we ain't losing. You're not hanging 70 on us.
No.
You're not hanging 70. Shannon said it best. They hung a 50-piece on you and ordered 20-plus sides.
Isn't that something?
He wouldn't have done it to Drew Brees.
Hell no.
No, it's bad. You don't
I've seen
do that.
him get a hangnail and get taken out the game.
I mean, Russ Wilson, he didn't deserve that. He did not deserve that. But that's as bad a loss as I've seen a lot in football, as you guys know. I'm old. I've seen a lot. I've never seen an abuse like that.
Last thing I say about that, stop worrying about the babies he's kissing and worry about how you're coaching against Mike McDaniel. Worry about that.
Amen to that. And guess what? Don't we play the Broncos later in the year?
We do.
All right. That game all of a sudden is a win. Buffalo with a big win. 37-3 over Washington. All three of us last week picked Washington to beat Buffalo. Instead, Josh Allen, 216, a touchdown, a pick. James Cook, 98 yards. Stephon Diggs, 111 yards.
I make this one very simple. What is the thing that's changed in the last 2 weeks for the Buffalo Bills that wasn't there at the beginning of the season all last year? What was one of the stats you said? James Cook had how many yards?
98.
How many yards did he have last week? 120.
Yep.
Run the ball. Run the ball. You got running backs. You got capable backs. Take some of that pressure off Josh Allen, because when you make him have to play hero ball, when you make Josh Allen have to play hero ball, that's what he does. But how'd the Lions pregame show go this week?
It's going good. You know, it's Jeff Iafrate and Neil last week. The Woodward Sports Lions pregame show returning for another season of Lions football. Join our host, Jeff Iafrate, weekly special guest on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. You're not going to want to miss the show live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Make that every Sunday before Lions games. Join us all season long for an action-packed Lions pregame experience every single Lions game. Jeff Iafrate right before the game. And we take you right up till kickoff with our watch party, don't forget.
Kool-Aid hung out last week, ran to you at the pregame show, aftermath of the pregame show. Talk about that energy that's down there in Eastern Market and the VIP experience, man. Tell people why they should come down and kick it with us.
Because it's hype, man. You want to talk about the most crazy just fans out there, the One Pride fans? Listen, DJ Don Mecca, the official DJ, he was holding it down out there. It was over 1,000 people, man, that came through the doors. When you showed up, it was jumping, bro. And that was just inside. That wasn't the RVs. That wasn't all of the people outside tailgating. That wasn't all the barbecuing.
Yeah.
We had the food on the inside and the drinks and everything and the music and the shows. Then you go outside and you can be with all of the other tailgaters. It was live and epic, man. It was the place you want to be before the Lions game, certainly.
I thoroughly enjoyed my turn, but I figured it coming from him, you guys would listen a little bit more. I'm not hyping it up. It really was good
Hey, we got a
energy.
couple more finals for you. Kansas City beat the living daylights out of Chicago Bears. Could have had a shutout, 10, the final. And I went yesterday, and I really thought that I smelled a rat, and I thought the Bears were going to cover the spread in this game. I'm so happy that I don't bet on a regular basis because I would have gotten my ass handed to me yesterday. Chicago, they're a dumpster fire. What's up, Parker?
What Justin Fields had to say after the game in the press conference.
What did he say now?
He was like, well, he kind of contradicted himself after what he said last week during the press conference. He's like, this is on me, like very frustrated and all that kind of stuff, like no one else to blame but me. But in my head, I'm thinking, didn't you just say it could have been the coaching last week? And now you're saying, like, there's something going on in Chicago. It's a very dysfunctional organization right now, and it's them losing that bad to the Chiefs is just a nail.
Look what happened to him last week.
It's not contradictory. What it is he was telling you the truth in the beginning in his mindset. Then he went back and kind of had, he talked to some people and tried to clean it up, if you will. And then after this game, he's trying to kind of stay that way, saying, hey, this one's on me. He's trying not to go back the other route. Justin Fields knows who he believes it's on. He believes it's on Eberflus and that coaching staff, and that's why it's going to be ugly. Whenever you're not drafted by that regime, be it that head coach and that GM, you're always potential to be gone because you're not a part of the mindset. You're not a part of what somebody was choosing. Man, as soon as Eric Mangini and Brian Daboll, who's now the head coach of the Giants, as soon as they got to the Browns, I knew I wasn't going to be there long. Like, no talk. It was no talking. There was really no conversation. Yes, I still started, but it wasn't. I knew I wasn't in the pictures.
You weren't their guy.
And then when I got traded, it made sense. I was like, oh, okay, this is why they didn't talk to me. Yeah. They know when they know, man.
They do.
Yeah.
The last game last night in Vegas, it sounded like a Steelers home game. The Steeler fans, I got to give it to them. They're the best in the NFL. They might even be a little bit better than us here in Detroit. But they've been rooting for a winner since 1971.
Yeah,
so,
they're the first to 4 Super Bowls.
I know. They got the win yesterday, 23-18 over Vegas, over the Raiders. Devontae Adams played out, man. 13 catches, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jimmy G went down, 2 touchdowns. He threw for 300 plus, 3 interceptions for him. 2 of them, I'm not even going to count. They were at the end of each half. Yeah. But the way this game ended, I don't know if you stayed up for this game, but the Raiders were down. It was the 23-15 after they got a touchdown, went for 2. There's like a 2.5 minutes left, okay?
Yep.
And Josh McDaniels on 4th and 3 decides to kick a field goal. Kick a field goal on 4th and 3 to bring it to within 23-18. And then the defense, of course, can't hold, and they don't see the ball.
It's the dumbest call I've seen.
The Raiders, the Raider fans want his head on a platter.
It was the dumbest call, and we've always said, you have talked about it in great depth.
He's a bad coach.
No coach can come off that Belichick coaching tree, man, and have success. He's not having the success out there. When you start getting rid of players like Darren Waller, I'm like, bro, like, why would you get rid of Darren Waller? But it doesn't matter. Sometimes they're empty stats. Man, Devontae Adams, you talked about that, 172. 13 catches. He had 2 touchdowns. He did everything, or he had a touchdown.
He did everything he had to do.
Stats don't always matter. You know who else has stats? Kirk Cousins leads the league in passing yards.
I know he does.
Justin Jefferson leads the league in receiving yards. Daniil Hunter leads the league in sacks. They're all on the same team, and you know what they all got in common? They're
0 wins.
Sometimes stats don't matter, man. If you don't have the other side to back it.
They don't, man. They don't. Hey, Monday Night Football doubleheader tonight. Are you ready for another doubleheader? 7:15. You got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. That's right. The Buccaneers undefeated right now. They are getting, what are they getting at home? They are getting 5 points only. 5-point favorites are the Philadelphia Eagles. After that game, about an hour later, Rams at the Bengals. Bengals a 2-point favorite. Might be more if Joe Burrow plays. They might make a decision right before the game if he plays or not. So doubleheader tonight on ESPN and ABC.
Yeah, it's just, I think with Jeff Bezos buying out all the good games, on Thursday and them switching them around on Monday, and it's double hitters. I'm not necessarily liking this game schedule. I mean, obviously.
But you got 2 games to watch tonight.
And no Burrow, I don't have nothing to watch. If Burrow
you don't want to watch the Rams?
For what?
They look better. They're more exciting to watch now.
No, they're not out here lighting it up like they did 2 years ago. Now, if that team is showing up, then maybe I'll tune in. But
who's that rookie wide receiver they got? Puka Nacua? Is that how
Puka Nacua. Yeah,
I'm looking to watch him. I want to see Matthew Stafford.
All right.
I want to see.
All right.
Bengals need a win. They don't have a win yet.
Well, then maybe I'll watch it.
We'll see how it goes.
But before that, how about we see about Swiss Insurance?
We can do that.
Do you have football on the brain? Because I know we all do after yesterday's win. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177. That number again, 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance. They always got you covered.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
The best new place downtown Detroit is 5 Iron Golf, located in the Cambria Hotel. That's right, 13 brand new TrackMan simulators, so you can golf any golf course in the world. You can play, practice, and party. They have golf instructors on deck. Look, everybody can't be Tiger Woods, you know what I'm saying? In fact, nobody's Tiger Woods, but they got instructors on deck for you to get a little bit better. But also drinks, also food, and it's downtown Detroit. Look, it's getting a little cold outside. If you look out your window right now, it's a little gloomy. It's a little more chilly, so you won't be at the golf course. Time to go downtown, have a good time, enjoy the party, and also remember Woodward Sports does a golf league, 5 to 7 on Thursday. 5 Iron Golf, new place to party and play.
Beautiful place.
Beautiful place. I like the TrackMan simulators, good vibes, good energy, and it goes back to say everybody.
Great leather chairs.
And that's your favorite part, right?
It is.
Everybody we work with here at Woodward Sports, we believe to be a relationship that we believe in. We believe in that group, like Randy Wise and like 5 Iron Golf. Mavs, couple more.
Yeah, we got our studs and duds we want to chat about, right? We're gonna go around the house here. I'm gonna let Braylon kick it off with his Sunday studs and duds.
Oh, you want the man to go first? I got 3 of them now, and I got 3 studs.
Why don't you do one, and then someone else will do one, then we come back to you.
There it is.
All right.
First stud of the week for me. Put it up there, Parker. Boom. Got to go with Mike McDaniel. And so now when I asked about this graphic, Parker, this is a hell of a job, by the way. Because when I sent it in, I sent in the Miami Dolphins offense, but I also added Mike McDaniel because I wanted him to get some credit too. And what does Parker do? Puts him right there chilling right next to that squad.
Bam.
They hung 70 points on the Denver Broncos. The first time 70 points has been scored since the 60s, and they did it. 2 touchdowns. It was amazing. They ran, they passed, they tackled, they did it all. Mike McDaniel is becoming everybody's favorite coach. So what they did and what that offense did, that was amazing. 2 for MVP right now. Dolphins, I think, got to be power rankings 1, maybe 2 behind the Chiefs. And then Mike McDaniel's coach of the year so far.
All
you
right.
want to go first or you want me to go?
You might as well go.
All right. Let me pull it up right here. I also have Mike McDaniel.
It's a love fest.
I think Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback in the league. Well, I wouldn't say the best in the league. Patrick Mahomes
having the
is
best season
there, but he's definitely the MVP so far
Yes,
this
I agree
season.
with that.
Kind of stumbled on my words there, but the connection that Mike McDaniels and Tua are having right now is what we were hoping Brian Flores and Tua would have when he was there. But this is just a match made in heaven. This is probably the best football team in the National Football League at this point. And I got to be honest, I'm scared for any team that faces them the rest of the season.
You're absolutely correct, except for the Brian Flores part, because we all know Brian Flores wanted who? Justin Herbert. He never wanted Tua, so that wasn't going to work. But Mike McDaniel, now I'll give you this credit. That connection definitely has been procured by Mike McDaniel. If you remember, when he first got the job and he was on the plane to Miami to do the press conference, who was he on the phone with?
Tua.
He was on the phone with Tua Tagovailoa. Great job by you, Parker. He has absolutely given Tua Tagovailoa. And the interesting thing is, if Tua doesn't get injured last year, like, what are we thinking last year? Like, he's won
a playoff game.
He's won every game that Tua's finished the game.
They would have won a playoff game.
So Mike McDaniel.
Skylar Thompson almost won a playoff game against Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the end for the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott for me. It seemed like they're figuring it out. Kool-Aid, you got a stud? I know you're late to the party, but you got a stud? Let's throw somebody out there.
I do, man. Look, Brian Branch. I got to go with him. You're talking about a person who's having an impact in his rookie year, to me, similar to like Sauce Gardner. I think this guy needs to be talked about, and he will prove to be someone that needs to be talked about as more than just a good rookie, but a great NFL player, man.
I like it.
I like Brian Branch, man. 11 solo tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. And every hit, I feel it from the couch, bro. I feel it through the TV.
Every hit, pause. Every Brian Branch play in the game, let's say that, I could see the energy that Nick Saban instilled in those Bama defensive players in training camp. I can see OTAs. I can see, they have OTAs in college now, but I can see that energy that Nick instills. He wants them to be the best of the best, and Brian Branch is one of those guys.
Hell, man, if I would have known what your studs were, I would have went first. Because guess who's my stud of the week? Of course. Come on, man. That's my guy.
Is he hitting the vape?
Yep.
That's my guy.
Hold on. Speaking of vape, and
Mike McDaniel.
Speaking of vape and THC, this is for my Michigan people, the state of Michigan. That is, did you see what they passed? They passed a law that they would no longer drug test before jobs. Some jobs. You know why? One, they need people to go to work. They're like, look, we don't care anymore. We need you at work. And then two, big business in cannabis. Big business in cannabis, and the state gets a lot of that money. Well, shout out to Mike McDaniel and his
you
vape.
think they made a side deal with the cannabis people? Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I would think so.
100%.
I would think so. So, yes, Mike McDaniel is mine. So, I'm going to go first on dud. How about that?
Okay.
Tell him, Maz.
Okay.
My dud is everyone's dud. It's Sean Payton.
Bum.
I said he was a disgrace the minute he de-pantsed Nathaniel Hackett in the preseason. He came out, he spoke out of turn. I didn't like it then, and guess what? I don't like it now, and karma's a bitch.
Yeah,
and
it is.
His team is getting their ass kicked. I feel sorry for the Bronco players. They interviewed one guy yesterday. It was a offensive lineman, and the guy was almost in tears. He's like, I've been here 7 years. All I've ever done is lose. And it's sad.
And think about that. He says he's been there 7 years, and all he does is lose, right?
Yep.
What did they do the year before he got there? They won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Can you imagine getting drafted the year after your team wins the Super Bowl?
You know what it's time for? It's time to go back to the Orange Crush uniforms.
Ooh.
And Bucky the Bronco inside the D, blowing the smoke. Go back to it, Broncos. You are lost.
All right, my man Kool-Aid over there. You got a dud for me for the weekend? Like, who was the guy that uses Orcos? You like?
Listen. You know what?
This ain't it.
Who's been the biggest
I'm gonna
bum?
keep this in the Lions game.
Okay.
I kept hearing about Bijan Robinson, and I didn't see him on Sunday. Did y'all?
That's a great.
What does he look
great.
like?
I don't know.
I did see him on the one run on the sideline where he broke the tackle, and then it's like he went back in the locker room.
Yeah, something like that, man. Something like
Brian
that.
Branch took his helmet off.
That's a good one.
At the end of the game.
Dude,
Bijan Robinson.
Did you guys see that hit?
Yeah, 100%. He wasn't the same after that. And it was a legal hit. Like, if you watch the play again, as Brian Branch is going up to make the hit, valid hit, Bijan ducks his head. So it became a head-to-head comment. So, I mean, is what it is, and I'm sure those will be one of those plays when he appeals, he'll win that appeal, and they'll see it wasn't hit, so they won't fine him for that, and he won't be docked.
You think Bijan is concussed?
No, he's fine.
You don't think he is?
No, he's
he
taking
got
big
hit,
hits. He's taking big hits to Texas.
All right.
Did y'all hear Brian Branch's comments on that?
Yeah, he said F it.
He said F it. I'll take the flag then. He was like, I'm not afraid. I wanted to hit him. I wanted him to feel this. He was like, I'm not afraid to hit Bijan Robinson. Anytime he's running, I want him to think about me. He was like, he said he was licking his chops, bro.
I love that kid.
Yeah, that's
he was ready.
You know what that is? That goes back to Alabama, Texas. They played against each other. Don't forget.
Yep.
Played against you last year. They played against each other, and Bijan Robinson had a day.
He did.
He didn't have one yesterday, so I appreciate that. Parker, talk to me. Who's your dud?
All right. So I'm gonna go a little bit different from your guys' duds. Was a game yesterday that we have we all said this team was a favorite in their conference, that they were gonna be winning that conference. The Jacksonville Jaguars laid not an egg, but they played pretty freaking poorly.
No, that's it out loud.
They laid an egg.
Yeah, I'll say they laid an egg. But man, the Texans looked great yesterday. Tank Dell, we already mentioned him. C.J. Stroud already looking like the offensive rookie of the year right now.
You got a lot of rookies of the year.
Yeah,
defensive and offensive.
Okay, that's fine.
But man, the Jags just really
breaking
disappointed. You expect them to beat a team, a young team, like the Houston Texans, and they squeaked out against the Indianapolis Colts week 1. I mean, this is a team that I'm kind of starting to get a little worried about towards the end of the year.
I'll tell you this: the Jags, they got some work to do. With the Texans, they always have trouble. The Texans always give the Jags trouble. That's an interdivision rival. You don't want to play that game. They knocked out a lot of people out of. If you had a survivor pool going, the Jacksonville Jaguars were the second most picked team yesterday, behind the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that sucks for them. I was already out of Survivor, so I don't care. I could care less. But I will tell you this. Whenever you have a good coach and you have one of those perceived to be type quarterbacks, they have Trevor Lawrence, they have Doug Peterson, he has won a Super Bowl. So you expect them to get back on track, but it definitely was an upset. How about we do this? How about we finish Studs and Duds next segment? But first, somebody tell me about Guardian Alarm.
I got you today. Customized solutions from real experts. This is Guardian Alarm. I mean, hey, you tell them every week, security is your #1 priority, so why not have Guardian Alarm with you? Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserve technology that has been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. You can call this number right above my head, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of here, Jacksonville.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink. Long Drink, one of my favorite drinks that I can consume on a game day. Live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash starting at 9:30 a.m. until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food/beverages and entertainment are all included. Get your tickets online at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on IG, and direct message us, Lions VIP. Bullseye, Got to get your tailgate the right way.
Yeah, you know who wasn't a bullseye will be our duds, who we were going over now with our studs and duds. Time for me to do my duds. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Welcome you back. Here's my duds. I got 2 of them. First one, Sean Payton. Enough has already been said about that guy. He allowed 70 points to be scored. Maz told you he went after Nathaniel Hackett, which he broke the unwritten code by the coaches, and then he went 0-3, but not only 0-3. He let the freaking Dolphins score 70 points on that defense. I feel exactly like I did when Kobe was playing against the Raptors. There's no way I would let that man score 81 points if I was the head coach of the Raptors. I don't care what I would have to do. Find me. Just like Brian Brandt said, F it, I'll take the penalty. Yeah. I'm not letting you score 70 points. You got to jump out there and trip a ref, bite a kneecap, or do something. I can't let you score 70 points on me in good faith and still come back and coach this team. Either I'm mad at you and I won't be able to coach you, or I'm mad at myself and I won't be allowing myself to coach you. Dud. Here's the other one. It's the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will always Dallas Cowboys because their quarterback Dak will always Dak. Dak. Him and Kirk Cousins. 2 quarterbacks we say are exactly alike. Interceptions to win the game on both sides. Interception. I understand that it's not all on Dak because the defense, they look bad without Trayvon Diggs. They allowed a lot.
Oh, yeah. First game without him.
They let the Cardinals hit him in the mouth. All that sexy stuff and all these stunts and all these things and moving Micah Parsons around. The way you beat the Dallas Cowboys is to hit them in the mouth. Don't allow them to get fast. Don't allow them to start moving up the field. You hit them in the mouth, and you keep hitting them in the mouth. James Conner ran over that freaking Dallas Cowboys team.
How about that?
All doggone game. And then
Joshua Dobbs beat him.
And then Micah Parsons has the nerve at the podium to say we played down to our level of competition. Now, we can agree or disagree about that. But then you get Dak Prescott at the podium. And he says, well, I know you guys are excited. This is what you build us up to be. So you guys are trying to win the Super Bowl? That wasn't the goal before the season started. That hasn't been Jerry Jones' goal every year since he's won his first one. Dallas, that was bad, and it was even worse at the press conference after. So that's why I go with them as
that's a good
my
duds. What the outcome of this game was for the Cardinals? Jonathan Gannon just saved his job this year. Jonathan Gannon, we were all saying he might be on the hot seat this year just because there's a lot of uncertainty around him. There's a lot of this, a lot of that. He just saved his job beating one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I think they might starting to like him. I think they're starting to like him.
And that's what I was saying.
He's odd.
I don't know if he saved his job per se because I don't know that it was up. Because when you come in as one of these young, hot new coaches, they're going to give you a little wiggle room. Hell, they gave Dan Campbell some time. They're going to give Robert Saleh some time, I do believe. So I think he would have had time. But what I think it brought complete buy-in from his team. I think it brought complete buy-in from the players to him and what he's trying to do. I like what they're doing. I mean, they still need some players. They're still a ways off. Yeah. But I like what they're doing.
They got a lot of draft picks coming up.
And one of them won't be the first pick overall, it seems.
They could be right back on the map here not too long ago. Andy Reid last night.
Oh, I had another stud and dud.
Oh, go ahead.
I had one more. You got another?
I got a stud, and then you got 2 more.
All right, put your stud up there and then put on up together, and we'll finish.
All right. We mentioned him earlier today. I mentioned him earlier today. Sam Laporta is my second stud of the week. Dude, this dude is just this guy has something special about him. I love him. Yeah. I love this guy. He is gonna just be he's gonna be a guy that a lot of people sleep on. I think eventually later in his career, he's gonna be up there with a Kelsey and Kittle. I have a bold prediction that he has the ceiling to be eventually like a Kittle, Kelsey type of tight end.
He's definitely going to be a damn good tight end. I liked him from gun. I always thought he was the best receiving yards after the catch in that pass class in the tight ends. It seems like Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, Parker, correct me. They just seem like they pick draft picks that just love football.
Yes.
Like the guys they're picking love football. Like when you watch, it's like I'm watching Varsity Blues to a certain extent.
Look at Jack Campbell. He makes that sack and then runs in the end zone. Runs in the locker room.
Sam Laporta, he could play for a Varsity Blues team. So does Jack Campbell. Those guys have that energy where they just love football. So I tell you like this, if you're in college right now, you're trying to come to Detroit Lions, you better love football because this team here, they love guys that love the game.
Amen.
Yeah, so I got 2 more studs and we can roll into it.
Local or other state?
Well, you know what? We can skip Florida already because they did I went first on Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
All right, it doesn't matter. Pick one. All right, there it is. The Arizona Cardinals. Look, man, they're 2-1. We picked them to be the worst team in the league this year. We said they were going to tank them and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It would be between those two. Well, they just beat the Dallas Cowboys. They're 2-1. Shots out to the Arizona Cardinals. And then last for my stud, who was last?
I'm pulling it up.
Sorry, take your time. Yeah, Arizona deserved it, James. Right. There it is. You thought I wasn't going to have a stud be the Detroit Lions? That is right. It's the Detroit Lions. It's Brad Holmes' draft picks, and it is Brad Holmes. We call him the mad scientist. Last week, I issued a challenge to Brad Holmes, guys. Look, the ones he drafted, you told us you wanted to get Jameer because you believed in him. You told us you wanted Jack Campbell because he had better measurables than we saw. You told us Brian Branch was the guy. All his guys were on full display, including Aiden Hutchinson. 2 sacks. Brad Holmes. You are a stud of the week.
All right. Hey, before we do Andy Reid, I want to tell you about Big Boy. You know it, guys. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or their brand new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. If chicken's more your thing, then how about the Dolly chicken sandwich? Or if you like your chicken hot like George Costanza, Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich is for you. Upgrade your regular fries with the chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert. If you love that Reese's chocolate peanut butter Thunder Cake, you're going to love that. And satisfy your taste buds with the funnel cake fries. Or you can just order a shake and a Big Boy at your local Big Boy. How about that? Huh?
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and obviously so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to the academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
Welcome back, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, winding down. First show of the week this Monday, talking about the Detroit Lions winning on Sunday. Victory Monday for the Detroit Lions, 20-6 over
the Atlanta Falcons.
Why do I always keep forgetting the doggone Falcons?
That's because they're very forgettable. They're very forgettable.
You know who isn't forgettable is Tracy Walker.
Yep.
Tracy Walker's not forgettable. Just thinking about CJ and I know we're all over the place, but just think about CJ man, and him being out and Tracy Walker really stepping up. It's a big game by him. I'm glad he had a good game. We're glad he saw.
He did, and it was almost on the anniversary of his injury, and he came back and they got a hold of him. I think Matt Broder got a hold of him after the game. It's Tracy Walker.
364 days, to be exact. So, honestly, it's a great moment for me right now. Like I said, I can go celebrate with my teammates and my family, and like I said, we count this one, but we got to come back and work next week. So, Thursday is a quick turnaround. So, we got to get back at work.
Congrats.
And that's a big one.
6 tackles.
And that's a big one, man. The big one is when you're injured, when you're out, like, yeah, you celebrate, but you don't feel the same when you celebrate with your team. If the team gets a W and you're injured, you're rehabbing, you're not in the locker room, you're not in the practice room, you're not on the practice field, if you will. But when you're back on the field and you're out there and you're involved and you're a part of the win, then you feel good when you can celebrate with the guys.
Hell
so it's
yeah,
good
man.
for him.
I'm happy for him. And you know what? Dan Campbell spoke last week. CJ goes down, but who do we have in the wings? You got Tracy Walker, a pro's pro, waiting to make. The guy made a Pro Bowl already, right, for you?
This
Got
is
hurt
true.
last year, and he's back this year, almost a year to the day, as he says, and he's proud about it, too.
Almost a year today, and that energy they had was great. Maz, you want to give us something on Andy Reid? I think he accomplished something last
sure
night.
did.
He moved up a list of sorts, if you will.
He is. He's moved up to number 4 on the list. He passes the great Tom Landry. That's right. Win number 271. Win. He is 4th all time right now. Of course, the top 2, Don Shula. Don Shula.
Yeah.
And then Bill Belichick right on his tail.
You know what's crazy is it seems like Andy Reid has been winning at a high level for 20-plus years, and he's still only 4th on that list.
Isn't that something?
That's a lot of
But you know what?
doggone
I don't. When they say greatest coaches of all time, Andy Reid doesn't pop in my head. He does it because I'm
It's because his Super Bowls happen late. So, like, Super Bowls is what take you to that next level of being a great player, a great coach. Like, when you say that and you add the Super Bowl, like Mike Shanahan, he's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
Then you add 2 Super Bowls, now he's on that list.
Right.
And I think for Andy Reid, he was just a really good coach for a very long time and then got those Super Bowls. So that's probably why you still don't think about it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think I guess I'm just stuck with Chuck Noll, Don Shula, Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry, that type. Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick.
I got a name that's bigger than all of them.
What do you got?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Hey, yesterday.
You a Swiftie?
You know the deal. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have been seeing each other. Travis Kelce's been trying to get her to notice him for a couple of years now. And they finally hook up. And he invites her to the game yesterday. And she's sitting in the box. I think his mom is there.
She was right next to her.
Right next to her. And she's cheering. And Patrick Mahomes says, I got to get this guy the ball so I could let him do his show off. He did his little dance in the end zone. She was so excited. And then the 2 of them were caught on camera on the way out. It's only like a 6-second video. You have that? Yeah, this is from Jared Payton.
Hey,
how you doing?
Going?
Run that again. This is Jared Payton, son of Walter Payton.
Hey,
how you doing?
Hey.
You know what they did? They went to a restaurant.
Jared Payton was always
They went to a restaurant, and she bought the whole place out so they could have just a dinner for them.
Yeah. I'm telling you like this, man. Like,
oh, my God.
That's
a big time.
That's that different level of celebrity, though. Like, Patrick Mahomes is a major celebrity around the world, around the country, around the world. Taylor Swift's on another planet.
Jeez.
So hanging out with him, Travis Kelce, you're about to. Well, it's not gonna be long because she's only working on her new album. So she's dating him so that she can have a breakup song.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I told my sister the other day.
100%.
100%.
I got a hunch they're gonna work.
No.
I got a hunch they're gonna work.
Man.
Last time somebody had that hunch, she had to shake it off.
Yeah, I bet.
Damn right.
I bet.
I had to get one in. I had to get one Taylor Swift
Go
song.
around the room. Does Taylor Swift last with Travis
Man,
Kelce
hell
Parker?
no. She's not lasting with everybody. She's dated guys that are more famous than him.
I know, but she got to settle down eventually.
She's not. No.
Not yet.
Not yet, man.
Not
yet.
He's
I
not
don't think
her
it's
blank
yet.
She just finished the largest concert tour ever next
I
to
know.
Michael Jackson. She ain't done. But I do like Patrick Mahomes. You see what that quote said? He said, look, I knew I had to get my boy Patrick the ball. I knew his girl was here. You got to appreciate a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes that does that. Because I've had some dates at games, and my quarterbacks didn't share that same attitude.
I bet.
It's like fourth quarter. I'm like,
I bet.
But you can't say anything. If Travis Kelce's in the huddle and he says like, hey, come on, Patrick, man, you know I got Taylor up here, man. You can throw me a tub right here. You can't say that. But that's what I really wanted to say back.
Well, they had it easy. It was a 40-point. They had 40 points against the Bears. I think they could have Kool-Aid could have scored in that game against the Bears.
Mike McDaniel would have scored 70 in that game.
Probably.
That's the new thing now. He would have scored 80. He would have scored 80.
Who's worse, the Bears? Who's the worst team in the NFL right now?
Chicago Bears.
Do you think it's the
Chicago
Bears?
The Bears. Just because I wanted to be too, and they're proving it right now.
Chicago Bears.
They're proving it, man.
Chicago Bears are terrible. I mean, one week you have the quarterback blaming the coaching staff. You got the coaching staff blaming the quarterback. You know, you got this defense, by the way. You do realize this defense was very expensive. You do realize the moves they made in the offseason trying to get this defense back. They got a lot of money on the books for not a lot of production in the books.
Hey, speaking of the NFC North and the Bears, you got the Packers coming up on Thursday. Lions going to hit the practice field here in a little while. So what's your take on this game going forward? It's a matter of fact, I think I'm going to check the spread out. I think the Lions might be favored in this game.
Probably plus
They
two.
probably
Yeah,
are.
2-point favorite. I think.
2-point favorite.
2-point favorite.
Just first thoughts. I think this was a great game for the Detroit Lions to have coming into this game because it's a short week game. You're going against the Green Bay Packers, a team that Matt LaFleur is all familiar how it goes.
All familiar to them.
Yes, he's all familiar to them. And at the end of the day, he knows the Detroit Lions. Mike LaFleur has had success. Matt LaFleur has had success. So it's going to see. But quick synopsis on this game. Lions are physical at the point of attack. Lions defense has played really good against the Falcons. I mean, you saw where the Packers were when Derek Carr was in the game.
17-zip at home, down.
You saw that. So that's going to be the same Green Bay team you're pretty much facing. I just need that same intensity. I need that same physicality. Jared Goff takes care of the pass. You know, hey, I think they'll beat Green Bay and Green Bay.
So the Lion defense had Desmond Ridder yesterday.
Yeah.
Now they get another chance at a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience, and Jordan Love. First of all, do you think Jordan Love is better than you had thought he was?
Yes.
Yes and no. And I'm going to make that make sense. When I saw him play against Michigan State, I thought he was an elite quarterback. I thought he was that was his junior year. I thought he was on his way to being a really good quarterback. Then after that, I haven't seen that same Jordan Love. So,
well, he hasn't played.
Well, his senior year at Utah State, he wasn't better than his junior year, you know. And when he played a little bit in Green Bay, I just didn't see anything I like. But he's playing like I saw him in Utah State, and I think he can be good. So yes, he's playing better.
Parker, what do you think?
I'm honestly pleasantly surprised about Jordan Love. I thought he would be playing how Justin Fields is playing right now. That's my honest opinion. I thought he would be a lot worse than what he is now.
How about you, Kool-Aid?
He has surprised me a little bit, but I'm not necessarily worried.
Two comeback wins.
No.
2 comeback wins for him in a row.
This is true, and it's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to win on the road, and it's hard to win as, he's not a rookie, but a first-year quarterback. But once again, you got to look at the matchups. Like, I'll be able to really judge Jordan Love based off how they look against the Detroit Lions. It's crazy. Detroit Lions are now the measuring stick for teams. I'm like, if you good, shoot, beat Detroit.
But think about what the Packers have done in their quarterback history in the last 3 quarterbacks. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love. And all 3 of those guys sat for a while and learned under somebody. Of course, Brett came over from Atlanta, which, Jerry Glanville made the mistake of a lifetime, letting him go over to Green Bay.
Yeah.
But then Aaron Rodgers sits under Brett Favre, and then this kid sits under Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I will say this. It's not that I'm necessarily thinking he's going to be the elitist of the quarterbacks, so I think he'll be a great replacement for Aaron Rodgers. But what I do think, I think he's the right fit for that team. That team's younger. And when guys get older, look, I'm the same age as Aaron Rodgers. I'm 40. Yes, I can connect to 20, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, but I'm not hanging with them all the time. And with Aaron, that's how it got. It got to a place where he's already not a type connecting person. He doesn't connect. So I think that's what's working out for the Green Bay Packers is you have a leader. You have the guy at the helm, which is the quarterback position. He's with those guys. He understands those guys. He hangs out with those guys. He built the chemistry with those guys. So not necessarily he's a world beater, but he is better for the situation, in my belief.
By the way, we had Survivor this past weekend. There's another guy that bites the dust on our league, and that is who?
Me.
Who'd you pick, Parker?
I picked the Dallas Cowboys.
All right.
You ain't the only one.
He's done. Parker is done. That leaves Ryan and I. Ryan had the Seahawks. I went with the Chiefs. I didn't want to fool around. Ryan kind of saved the Chiefs for later. So it's Ryan versus me right now. And in our picks for the week. Our picks for the week, I went 4-3, and you went 3-4. So did Ryan. He went 3. Did Ryan go 3-4? Let me double check. Ryan went 3-4 as well. So we're not killing it. We are not killing it.
Who's
this
in
year.
first?
You are still there, tied with me now.
We're tied. We're 8-9.
Yes, unfortunately. We are 10-11 each.
10. Okay.
And Ryan is 9-12. Nothing to write home about.
I'm better than somebody.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you're 10 and 11, all it takes is 1 week.
I know.
All it takes is 1 week.
You were hot. You had the first 3 right. You had the Patriots.
Yeah.
You had the Chargers.
Yep.
You had the Dolphins.
Yep.
Then you went down with the Saints. Then you went down with Washington.
Yeah.
Then you went down with the Raiders. And then you went down with Atlanta.
I only regret one of those picks though.
You regret Atlanta?
No.
Oh.
I don't. I mean, well, they won, but it was an ugly game. I regret Washington. I literally knew
they were never in that game, and they were home.
And that's on me. You know what, man? Tell me about the Lions post game, if you please.
I can tell you that. I'm me and Stick every weekend right after the Lions game. No matter what time it is, we're going to be on right after the watch party. And we're joined by plenty of people. Anson was here yesterday.
Ooh.
He's the guy that came up with the honey brancher, by the way.
Boo.
That wasn't me. That was me. Kool-Aid was with us. We had JB was in the house. Luke was in the house. We got you covered after every Lions game. We got at least an hour after the game with you. And we take phone calls, obviously, at 313-552-6322 as well. So make sure you check us out. Every Lions post game after the watch party right here on Woodward Sports and our YouTube channel.
You know what would be a great place to go after a win by the Detroit Lions would be fairway packing. It's something about me that loves fairway packing. I go for it right now.
I could go for it right now. And for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, dry-aged beef, any kind of beef, you got it. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Source, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
To perfection.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Just check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com, lesstanford.com. Find new roads.
All right, welcome back. Last segment of the day. I will make quick mention of this. Michigan State lost to Maryland 31-9. Michigan beats.
They might not win another game.
I agree with you there. Michigan beats Rutgers 31-7. Don't cover, but Blake Corum has 97 yards and a touchdown. Is promising. Deion Sanders loses to the Oregon Ducks.
Boy, did he lose.
42-6. We'll talk about Michigan. We'll talk about Deion a little bit more tomorrow. Just wanted to give you those topics. Quick thought on Deion and Oregon, Max.
Oh, man. I put that game on. It was 13-0, and then they go 20-0, go for 2, 21-0. It was Katie bar the door after that. Dan Lanning prepped his team, and he had them ready. And Deion said, "Babe, no excuses. We'll talk more about it tomorrow." But they got their teeth kicked in. And Shedeur Sanders was chased all over the place. That Oregon team is pretty damn good. And Bo Nix is a pretty damn good quarterback. How did Auburn let him go?
Yeah, well, sometimes it doesn't work. You know, whether it's an offensive coordinator that doesn't work with your style of play, whether it's the head coach or whatever, but it didn't work for him at Auburn. Definitely is working in Oregon. Everybody works in Oregon. I mean, if you look at Mike Bellotti was successful, Chip Kelly was successful, Matt Cristobal was
he did well, Mario.
Exactly. He was exceptional. Actually won the Rose Bowl, I want to say. But look, man, when you go to a new school, the water's finally finding its level. You get your best player, Travis Hunter, who plays on both sides of the ball, legitly on both sides of the ball. You get him hurt. You still don't have the offensive line and defensive line of the big boys.
Yeah, the O-line was bad.
And it finally happened. TCU wasn't that good. Nebraska wasn't that good. And Colorado State, although an entertaining game, wasn't that good. So the first 3 games of the season, you get a chance to see.
And those kids got a lot of light on them. I mean, Deion's your coach.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching them. And they are now out of the top 25, except on the Fox side. Fox still got him at number 25. I think they got him on TV this week.
They play USC on Fox
What
News.
is USC going to do to them?
I don't think Lincoln Riley is going to be as nice as Lanning was.
Can they put like 50 up on him?
60.
Wow.
But they don't have a good defense either, so they may be able to score some points.
60-40 final. Caleb Williams.
60-25.
Over Shedeur Sanders.
60-25. Ohio's U shocks Notre Dame.
What a game.
I don't understand why it shocks.
I love this game.
Ohio State was ranked higher. Notre Dame, to me, is actually a better team. Like I thought Notre Dame was a better team. I thought that in the end, I will give Kyle McCord, who I didn't like, I'll give him credit because his last drive was nice. It was stellar. He made some big throws in there. But the one thing I didn't like from Michigan's point of view, Ryan Day he was very physical. He tried to out-physical Notre Dame in that game, and they went for it. Even the 2 runs at the end of the game, I was like, Ohio State hasn't been that lately. They haven't depended on their offensive line. They haven't depended on their running backs. They've been finessed. So that might be something to watch moving forward.
Marvin Harrison got hurt early in that game, and he's banged up a little, so he's got a bum ankle, but they got time to get him going.
Well, their number 2 is the second best receiver in the country, statistically wise.
Who's that other guy on the team?
Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah,
Egbuka.
Wow.
He was preseason, he was 3 at wide receiver. You got 1 and 3 on the same team?
Jeez.
Yeah.
They're going to be tough.
All right, Parker, what's your overall synopsis? Atlanta Falcons, Detroit Lions, moving into Victory Monday. Where are you at with the team after that win?
We were talking about this during Woodward Nights on Friday, and listen, I'm still at the point where I think this team's going 11-6. I don't think it's gone up. I don't think it's gone down. I expected us to have a loss at the beginning of the season. I thought it was going to be the Chiefs. It was Seattle, but man, going into next week, I predict them to lose at least 1 or 2 games against this division. And it's just going to be one of those things. Dan Campbell might just let one go because of the fact, let's say it might be at the end of the year when we're already in the playoffs. Yeah. Let's say maybe it could be next week. Lambeau is a very hard place to win in. It's not an easy place to win in. But to talk about yesterday's game, man, just sitting there and hearing the people just go wild over the Lions, and it's almost like my lifetime. I'm only 22. I've never seen a fan base that has been this electric in my entire life. Like I was talking to Kool-Aid about this. I've never seen a winning Pistons season. I've seen a couple Red Wings seasons. I've never seen really a good Tiger season that I can remember because I was so young.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Lions this hyped up in my life. And especially to see them just this high and this going. This is a team that's going to be special. This team is going to be dominant going forward. And I'm really excited to see where next week goes, especially going into Lambeau. Both teams, the Packers and the Lions, have a short week this week.
He says, I'm 22. I've never seen a team hyped up this much. I'm 40, and I've never seen the Lions team hyped up this much. Kool-Aid, quick thought on the win, Detroit Lions.
I think it was a good win. Like I said, it was a win that showed me this team is for real. And that this team, they know what they're doing. It was a game plan to me that was not necessarily vanilla, but I think it kept them fresh on a short week. You know, people were clamoring for more out of Jahmyr Gibbs, more targets to different, receivers and things. And to me personally, I feel like Dan Campbell knew, like you said earlier, we can win this game.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we play on our P's and Q's. Let's not put too much out there on tape for the Packers to be able to go and pick up on.
Yeah.
And then come into this game.
Good point.
And just absolutely go ham.
Good
well
point.
said, Kool-Aid.
Tom Mazaway, longest tenured Lions fan up here. What'd you think about it?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
That was a great synopsis, Kool-Aid.
Well done. They got the job done. And the first words out of my mouth yesterday on the post-game show was, I'll take it. 20-6, and they never really challenged. The Lions had them the whole way. One injury to Matt Nelson. I want to see the team get healthy. That's my only worry for them.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see the team get healthy. And then for me, I'll wrap it up as saying the players that you needed to play, the players that you asked to see, by Brad Holmes, by Dan Campbell. You saw Jack Campbell have a sack. You saw Brian Burns be electric. You saw Sam Laporta seem to become that number 2 favorite by Jared Goff. You saw Tracy Walker have 6 tackles, and you saw Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson put their sides respectively in positions to win that game. In the NFL, it's hard to win games, and when you win as physical as the Detroit Lions were against the Atlanta Falcons, that spells well for you moving into the season. So, but more about Michigan tomorrow, because we got to talk about them, because I don't know, man. I think the season's wide open for any college team.
They're 0-4 against the spread.
I think there's only, I know, right? Yeah. I think there's only one team that separated themselves kind of from the pack, and it ain't by far. We'll figure out that tomorrow. But appreciate you for tuning in, man. Thank you. This is Woodward Sports Network. We are trying to bring you the best content.
Give us some likes.
The best analysts. You know what? I never ask for likes. I always forget. That's Ryan's job. So please send some likes in. Where we at right now?
We're now 193. Let's get to 200.
All right, let's get,
we gotta get to 200.
Let's get 7. Let's get 7
and guess
likes.
what?
Get 200.
We hit the 50,000 on YouTube.
We hit the 50,000?
We hit the 50,000 over the weekend. Congratulations. Thank you to everybody.
A round of applause.
Thank you.
That is you.
Keep them coming.
We appreciate you, man. As more as you keep coming on, we're going to keep moving this train in the right direction, just like who? The Detroit Lions. But Kool-Aid, appreciate you joining today, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you all, as always, bro. I know we talk a lot in mass. You support a lot, man. That's why I love this network.
Can't wait for the Pistons.
Hey, I cannot wait. Parker, you're going to see some winning soon, bro.
Hopefully.
Keep leading, Parker. Tom Mazaway, is always
Peace.
a pleasure, my brother. That's it for the old man.
See you tomorrow.